Tutu a running start and get him open. Like, it's exciting. Tutu is definitely a part of the Sean McVay game plan for 2023, which has been a lot more exciting than we thought it was going to be. So, I'm in on Tutu.
All right, Erickson, what was your percentage on Tutu? Just 2-2-2. That was a lot of tutus there in one
I'll go with 8%.
Okay, Tutu as well. 8% there for Erickson. So there you go. Both around 8%. So even though different perspectives, same amount of fab. It was a beautiful thing. All right, who do we want to drop at wide receiver? Darnell Mooney, Erickson. You want to drop him?
Yes.
Drop. Fitz, you're shaking your head, yes?
Yep,
all right, we're dropping him. Alan Lazard, are we going to drop him?
No Rodgers, no fantasy value for Alan Lazard, period.
No woman, no cry. Erickson, you want to drop Alan Lazard?
Yes.
Okay.
100% drop.
There you go. Garrett Wilson did have that touchdown, much to everyone. We were burying Garrett Wilson.
One of his two catches.
But like that's the thing. Like that's why you don't bench him completely. But the value of him as a wide receiver 3, it's clear. Like if he doesn't have that minute, right? He doesn't have that moment where something really special happens, where he taps a ball to himself for a touchdown, or he gets loose and that one defender falls down, and that wonderful, as you said,
that's a totally sustainable formula.
Oh, totally sustainable. Look, you got an extra week to trade him now. That's how I look at it. It's like, hey, you got another touchdown out of him. You can say, look, he's got 2 touchdowns in 2 games with Zach Wilson. Tell that to somebody who doesn't watch or really understand what's going on. Wide receiver worth adding. I want to throw out this name too. Tank Dell. I had him in DFS yesterday. He was a free square. Erickson, should people be watching Tank Dell on the waiver wire? Because he is just 20% rostered too.
I would 100% add Tank Dell. He played more snaps than Nico Collins did. He had more targets than Nico Collins did. And this was his first game as a full-time player in the Texans offense. CJ Stroud threw for 340 yards. CJ Stroud is good.
Don't remind me. I sat him in a league because I was worried about the shoulder, and that was a giant mistake that I made.
And I believe that they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 3.
That's correct.
A secondary that I am not afraid of whatsoever. So I think that Tank Dell is going to continue to feast, honestly. So I like it a lot.
Give me a number. Give me a number on Dell, real quick.
10%.
10%. I know you're a little less enthusiastic, Fitz, about Tank Dell, but I'm going to just take over the big pot energy there with Erickson. We're just going to keep plowing through here. No bad words about Tank Dell, little Tank Dell. He's adorable. All right, let's go to the quarterback streams, tight ends, and defenses before we close things out here with the waiver wire priorities of the week and a listener mailbag. Let's go through these real quick. Give me the quarterback, Fitz, that you want to stream this week potentially in Week 3.
I'm going to stick with Derek Carr against the Packers. And at 40%, it's just, man, the long-term playability of Derek Carr with that soft schedule, and I think this is going to continue to be kind of a pass-heavy offense, and I love the weapons he has around him.
All right, how about you, Erickson? Do you have a streaming QB you like this week so far?
Well, I mentioned him earlier, but I like Stroud. Stroud is just ripping the ball downfield. He's hitting his receivers. He showed that when he's facing bad defenses, he can rip it up, and we know that their defense can't stop anybody, so Jacksonville's going to put up points. So I think C.J. Stroud's going to have to put up points too, so I like Stroud.
Erickson, how about a streaming tight end you like this week? Who is it?
Is Hunter Henry still available? Hunter Henry keeps catching touchdowns left and right. I like Hunter Henry as a guy that you could potentially stream, and then if not, probably going back to Luke Musgrave. Just really good usage in the Green Bay Packers offense, playing all the snaps. Not a ton of receptions and targets in Week 2, but had opportunities. He's out there, and that is honestly what you're kind of looking for when you're really streaming tight ends at the bottom of the barrel.
Vince, how about you for streaming tight end Week 3? Who do you have your eye on?
Those are my two as well, Musgrave and Henry. And I'm excited about the Musgrave use. The only thing is you cannot use Musgrave this week against the Saints, so I guess it's got to be Henry. The Saints were murder on tight ends in 2022, and so far again this year, in Week 1, they shut out Chigo Okonkwo. So not Musgrave this week. I like him longer term. This week, go with Hunter Henry. He's really heavily involved in the Patriots passing game.
Fitz, how about on the streaming defense side? Anybody really pop out to you? I look at had another good week defensively. I had them in DFS this week. They've been pretty good. The Colts 2 weeks in a row have been pretty good. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Chiefs are surprisingly lightly rostered. I guess I understand it coming off a game against the Jaguars. They get the Bears. Already in 2 games, Justin Fields has thrown 3 interceptions and taken 10 sacks. This was
Chris Jones is back.
Chris Jones is back, and Fields was the most frequently sacked quarterback in 2022. He is a sack magnet, so take the Chiefs.
All right, Erickson, any streaming defenses you think might be worth adding this week?
I mean, I concur with the Chiefs. I mean, I think their opening line was like 12.5-point favorites against the Bears. Like it is a bad look for Chicago right now, and the fact that he's just a sack machine, man. Like I don't know what he's waiting for things to happen. So there's such a high floor with the Chiefs in terms of sacks that they can generate, especially if they're playing with a massive lead. So I would say them, and then if not, Jacksonville is up there. They got dropped because they were playing the Chiefs this week, so they're playing the Texans. I got to talk about Stroud, but you're just looking for dropbacks, looking for opportunities for interceptions, sacks, and the Texans still have a really bad offensive line.
And don't forget, everybody, when you download my playbook, you have all these tools available, including the waiver wire assistant that will help you find these guys in all your leagues, who's available, and then you can go add them. You can also check up on Fantasy Pros. The waiver wire column is out. We have a ton of waiver wire content every single Monday for you to dive into, and even the live stream on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern here on the show. So if you've got questions, we've got answers. Ask us on the show. We'll tell you about it. All right, let's go through the waiver wire priorities of the week for those people who don't play with the Fab. Fitz, give me the top 5 guys in the order you want to add them.
All right, it's Roschon Johnson at the top, with the possibility of, usage like maybe coming down the road. Tutu Atwell is number 2 for me. Like, I think he is far and away the best wide receiver you can add right now. Chuba Hubbard, number 3, and slightly ahead of Zach Moss. If you do need that immediate help, maybe you bump Moss ahead of Chuba. And then, boy, I'm really torn on number 5. Like, I could go any number of ways here. I could go with another running back, but let's say, I guess I'll say Rashid Shaheed.
Okay, Shaheed. For you, Andrew Erickson, what's that order look like?
So I'm going to go with Kyron Williams would be 1. He's still available. Probably then Zach Moss, and then Jaden Reed, Roschon Johnson, and then my last guy would be probably Rashid Shaheed.
Okay, let's close things out here with the listener mailbag. Again, our Discord is free to join, fantasypros.com/chat. That's where you can hang out with us, and premium membership gets you access to a whole lot more. So when you go premium, you get access to our stages, our AMAs, and of course, higher level tools in the My Playbook app, as well as some other perks. So go premium today at Fantasy Pros. Again, fantasypros.com/premium. Here you go. This is from JMG24. Who is the better stash, Shaheed or Jaylen Warren? Fitz, your thoughts on this question?
Jaylen Warren for me. I'm always going to lean running back on stash. I'm a bigger believer in Najee Harris than I think Erickson is, and then Debro is for sure. But that said, I could be wrong on that one, and I'm starting to think the Steelers are going to try to run the offense through their running backs, because maybe the passing game is just not ready for prime time after all, based on what we saw in Week 1. So I think Jaylen Warren, potential lottery ticket if anything happens to Najee, and maybe there's a chance he aces out Najee on the merits.
Okay, Erickson, do you agree?
Yep, Jaylen Warren for me. I'd rather stash the running back. It's just easier to plug him in if Najee gets hurt. Just automatic start him, as opposed to Shaheed, where you're like, do I start him this week? Boom or bust. I'd rather have the running back.
There you go. Continue to hit that waiver wire and hit it hard, everybody. There's championships to be won. Use the waiver wire assistant over on My Playbook. Also, don't forget about that Deebo Samuel jersey we're giving away. So if you want to win that, subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop a comment below, click the bell till it goes ding, and then you're entered to win. That's all you got to do. And also, another fun thing to do is go sign up today at DraftKings using that promo code FANTASYPROS. $5 will get you $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with that promo code FANTASYPROS. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson and Pat Fitzmaurice, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Pros Football Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Fantasy Pros, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/fantasypros.
From iHeart Podcasts, Supreme, The Battle for Roe tells the story of the unlikely champions behind the landmark case Roe v. Wade, starring Maya Hawke as 26-year-old lead attorney Sarah Weddington,
We're challenging the Texas abortion laws in federal court.
and Academy Award nominee William H. Macy as Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun.
They got cornhole.
I got you 2 times.
Listen to the podcast Supreme, The Battle for Roe on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
Here's something every football fan
Yep.
should know. You can get anything you need for game day delivered with
We
Uber
have to
Eats.
leave.
Well, almost anything, because you can't get your dream running back for your fantasy team delivered with Uber Eats, but they will deliver flat